If you want to explore places like this, or like this, or even like this, then you've come to the right video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over 3 different methods of how to find abandoned places to explore. We're going to start off with the easiest and most obvious method, and then we're going to move to some more advanced techniques. The first method is going to be just going to YouTube and doing a quick search. So for example, I live near St. Louis, so I would go to YouTube and search abandoned places, St. Louis, Missouri. That's going to come up with a whole bunch of videos. A lot of the videos will have the name of the place, and once you have the name, you can search that on Google, and after a few minutes, you should be able to find the exact address or location of where it is. The second method is the railroad method. Now, I did not invent this, but it does work. Basically, you're gonna go to Google Maps. You wanna go to industrial looking areas. You're just gonna follow railroad tracks until you find some abandoned looking places. You would be surprised at the number of places I've explored that were right next to railroad tracks or in somewhat close proximity to the railroad tracks. Now, the last method we're going to talk about in this video is going to be trading. You will need the location of a few abandoned places before you can do this. So I suggest keeping a list of all the places you explore with their coordinates or addresses in your notes app, or saving them to your favorites in Google Maps. Now, once you have a couple places, you'll be able to trade them with other urban explorers. You can message somebody and you can say, do you want to trade spots? You will give them the addresses of some abandoned places you've been to, and they can give you some addresses of places that you've never seen before. Most urban explorers will not tell you where a location is if you ask for it. This is why you have to trade with them. For doing the trading, I suggest making an Instagram, even if it's separate from your normal Instagram account. I would post pictures of the places you've explored on there. From there, you can start following other urban explorers in your area. It's pretty easy to find other people around you that do the same thing. Follow them, have some interactions, and then you can shoot them some messages about trading. What should you take with you to do urban exploring? I would recommend bringing a flashlight, a backup flashlight just in case, and some hiking boots. The hiking boots are because a lot of these places, there's gonna be water. You're gonna have to walk through mud. Sometimes you gotta walk through the woods to get to these places. I would bring your phone and optional, a camera too. The GoPro is great for adventures like these. It's easy to take with you. It doesn't do the best in low light settings, unfortunately. You may have to tweak the settings of the camera for that. The last thing that you should pack with you, this is at your own discretion, self-protection. This is completely up to you if you want to do this or not. A lot of abandoned buildings are in rough areas. A number of places I've explored have been in St. Louis, Chicago. They don't have the best reputation for safety. Self-protection is up to you if you want to bring it or not. Let's talk about some things you should not bring with you when going urban exploring. That would be spray paint and crowbars. Let's talk worst case scenario here. You get caught urban exploring. Some police officers are gonna let you go with a warning. If you tell them, I was just inside taking pictures and checking the place out, some of them will let you go without any trouble. If you have spray paint or a crowbar on you, that is not gonna be the case. They're not gonna see it as, I was just taking pictures and exploring. They're gonna see it as vandalizing or breaking and entering. So by bringing these things, you do risk getting in a lot more trouble if you were to get caught. Speaking of the breaking and entering, I do not condone breaking into buildings. I only explore places with open entrances. If there's an open window or an open door, something like that, I will go explore it. We're just exploring here. We're not damaging property. How do you know if a building is actually abandoned? The graffiti on the outside of the building and the broken windows is a pretty good sign the building's abandoned. This is almost always a sure way to know. Now, the last thing I want to say is, please, if you do go urban exploring, leave the place how you found it. There is no need to go inside these places and start destroying things. It's a lot of fun going to these places and exploring, and you gotta think, imagine how cool these places would be if nobody went in and destroyed them. The insides would look so much better. You want them to be able to have as good of an experience as you did. With all that being said, I hope this guide helps. I hope you guys can get out there, explore some awesome places. And as always, I will see you guys next time.